Your original hometown dealer, Saida, Trudeau Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram.
I think most of the residents of Nye County have had it with the history of corruption in the Nye County Sheriff's Department. And I know that 2 years ago when they elected Sharon Worley, they thought they were getting something different and something new. And actually what we got was something considerably worse than what we had before. Nye County has a long tradition of corruption, including the Sheriff's Department. And I don't know how the rest of the citizens of Nye County feel, but from my point of view, it needs to end now. We need to bring the Nye County Sheriff's Department into the 21st century and stop the corruption.
Why do you think they're corrupt?
A long history of sheriffs not taking the necessary action, letting these problems percolate and germinate. And they've germinated under a number of, they've been really bad in the past at certain times, even including deputies running drugs in the distant past. Then more recently, they've germinated just under the surface. And when Sharon Worley came to office and the way the administration has been run under her being the sheriff, things have exploded. We have citizens being falsely arrested. We have violence against animals, loving family pets being shot. We have the sheriff lying about it. We have the deputies not being punished. And I could go on and on and on, and I have on my show for the last 2 years. It is a nightmare. And the people who pay the price for that are the citizens of Nye County. And as far as I'm concerned, it needs to stop. I'm going to stop it.
What would you do differently within the Sheriff's Department and within the ranks that you think would change what you think is going on there?
There's a couple of steps that I think are important. First of all, there has to be policies put in place that immediately put a stranglehold on the bad behavior that we've seen. Some of the things that go on now should be punished administratively, if not judicially, but they're not even punished administratively because there are no regulations, there are no policies to speak to that. I'm going to do that. Second of all, with my background in law enforcement, I'm going to actually do something that no sheriff has ever done. I'm going to go out and ride with each and every patrol deputy as their partner and teach them the things about, I'm sure they understand the law. They've been through the academy. They know how. But law enforcement is a lot of nuanced activities and choices. When to act, when not to act. When you can actually get people to find their own solution rather than enforcing something with steel bracelets upon them. These are things that I think are woefully lacking in the Nye County Sheriff's Department right now. And lastly, one of the things we need is a civilian administrator. Because when you have a civilian administrator within the agency, it's almost like an inspector general. They have the ability to look at things from the perspective of the citizenry and from, for instance, the government of Nye County, rather than I have a badge, so I'm going to make every decision I make based on having a badge. When there's nobody in the organization who's looking at the operations without a badge, then every decision is made by the men with badge. And we know what that is. There's not much accountability there. So I'm going to bring in not a civilian, but a non-peace officer administrator.